We have some good news and we have some bad news regarding the character of Blade. Which one do you want to hear first? Well, I guess I will start with the bad news. As you know, this Blade reboot has been a disaster since the day that it was commissioned back in 2019. Now, Kevin Feige has been adamant that the Blade reboot is still in the works. However, last year, it was reported that the Blade reboot was put on hold indefinitely. Translation, they don't know when it's coming out. Now, many speculated that the film will eventually move forward. However, people like me and maybe you understood exactly what was going on. In my opinion, the Blade reboot was canceled a long time ago. Now, today, we have some more information regarding that situation, and it is coming from a songwriter known as Flying Lotus, and he is revealing that the film is essentially canceled. Now, this article is coming from comicbookmovie.com. It is titled Blade Now Said to Be on Indefinite Hold, as Flying Lotus reveals he was set to write music for the reboot. Now, right off back, that title isn't what I just told you, right? But you got to read it, ladies and gentlemen. Though Blade was removed from Marvel Studios' slate last year, we had heard that the movie was simply delayed and would eventually move forward. Unfortunately, this no longer seems to be the case. Despite recent reports that the MCU reboot was still on track to commence production in the UK at some point later this year, come on now. Insider Daniel Richmond claims to have confirmed that Blade has been put on hold indefinitely. All right. Backing up this claim is recording artist / DJ Flying Lotus, aka Steven Ellison, who has taken to X to reveal that he had signed to write music for the project before things fell through. And he does not sound optimistic about the film getting back on track. This is what he said, quote, "I guess we are so far from it even being a possibility now. Yeah, I was signed on to write music for the new Blade movie before it fell through. Maybe it'll come around again, but I doubt it. Would have had fun though." All right, so last we heard the latest draft by Eric Pearson, who is the sixth writer to have been assigned to the project after Michael Green, Stacey Osei-Kofo, Michael Starberry, Bo DeMayo, and Nick Palazzo, I believe that's how you say that. I'm sorry, Nick, if I said it wrong, had finally satisfied everyone involved. But clearly, this isn't the case. All right, that's the bad news. The bad news is that this film is not coming out now. Kevin Feige has claimed to the media that he wants to focus on multiverse stories at this very moment, right? He's trying to get over that. Then he's going to get back to this more grounded take of the MCU. Now, with that being said, the good news is the fact that Wesley Snipes is probably most likely and is back in the building. Let me tell you a little history about this Blade reboot that I didn't even know. I just recently discovered this. Originally, Marvel Studios wanted to give you a Blade 4. That's right. And then when Ali contacted that of Kevin Feige, they decided to go with Ali. You know, he was a big star at that time. And Wesley, he was known not to really work with people well, but I feel like he has shedded that off. But they wanted to do a Blade 4 in the first place. This reboot idea came around when Ali called Marvel Studios. What has happened since then? Deadpool and Wolverine. See, the delay had opened the door for Wesley to come back. Bam. He was in Deadpool and Wolverine. The crowd reacted. Now, Marvel Studios may want to get back on track with that original idea. See, that is the good news. Why I say that? One, everybody, if not most wants Wesley back as Wesley Snipes. I'm sorry, as Blade. 2, a lot of us do want that Blade 4 film. And 3, the man has a lot left in the tank, baby. That's right. Now, a couple of months ago, there was this article that I reported to you guys that said that Wesley was back for 5 projects, and many people was questioning if that was true or not because his name wasn't revealed for Avengers Doomsday, right? However, Marvel Studios has confirmed that there are more characters. Think about this. Channing Tatum's Gambit is in the film. That's right. Channing Tatum's Gambit has been confirmed to be in Avengers Doomsday. Do you honestly believe that Marvel Studios is not going to use most, if not most, all of that roster from that of Deadpool and Wolverine, especially when everybody had positive conversations about them? Gambit, Blade, X-23, Elektra. Hell, even people was happy with Chris Evans being that of Johnny Storm in the film, right? So with that being said, Marvel Studios, they understand now which direction to go with this character. And by the way, this article also mentions down below that Marvel Studios could have both Blades at one time, but I do feel like Ali is not going to be up for that. He may very well respect that of Wesley as an actor, but if you're going to be this great, entertainer, you have to have your own identity. And think about it. Once he steps onto the scene with Wesley Snipes' Blade, he's automatically is going to be overshadowed. Think about this. Deadpool and Wolverine was about Deadpool and Wolverine. But what character had the biggest results as far as the love? Think about that. It was Wesley Snipes' Blade. So Marvel Studios, they know that the ship has sailed with that reboot. That is why they keep on telling you, look, we're gonna get to it, we're gonna get to it. We go, no, you're not. No, you're not. If you were going to be making a Blade movie, it would be made already. Think about this, Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was announced years, and I mean years after the Blade reboot. That movie is set to be released next year. I'm sorry, next week. I'm messing up here. Next week. Fantastic Four? Hell, I believe that Spider-Man No Way Home also was in development way behind the Blade reboot. So with that being said, we're not getting this film, especially since Delroy Lindo has confirmed that the film just went off the rails, man. You know what I'm saying? This is not a priority for Marvel Studios anymore. The reboot, that is. But Wesley Snipes' version of the character may very well be.